everyone. This is Miss Chung over here. So today we're gonna look at positive and negative numbers. All right, we're already at the second chapter, 2.2, and positive and negative numbers. Some of you may be quite good with it. Some people can still be confused when they go up to secondary. So today we're gonna write over here positive and negative numbers. I'll try to make it as simple as I can so that each and every one of you can understand it. All right, so we're actually going to look at a few things. One is counting on and back for positive and negative numbers. The second thing we're going to look at is the comparison of which one is bigger, which one is smaller, right? And we're also going to reorder. So which one is bigger and smaller? That's what we have already found out in comparing. So now we're gonna actually rearrange everything from the smallest to the largest, or even from the largest to the smallest, right? So right now, let's get to it. The first one over here, counting on and back. So for counting on and back, we have two types. One would be on and one would be back. Go forward and go backwards. Let us look at us going forward first, right? Counting on. So when counting on, let me just give you an example number. Maybe we have -8 to -4 and then 0. And maybe we have two unknown numbers. So how are we going to count on? So I'll give you about 2 seconds to look at it. All right, so there are a few ways. Yes, we can just class them or just write down your answers right away. But we also need some kind of working. So sometimes maybe in exams or even some questions, they would ask you to please draw a line on where the number is at. So it will show how you can actually recognize the visual number line itself. So first, let us draw a number line. Right, so in this number line, what we can see, let me zoom in, we're going to start with -8, since that's our first number. Then goes on to -4, then we have 0. So how do we know what are the next few numbers? So we can actually do it like this. Just draw an arrow. So that's the most basic stuff. Basically from 8 to 4, your number increases. Like counting on, it is basically counting forward. So it's actually +4. So for every single number that goes on and on and on, every single one of it, you're actually adding 4 to it. So we have to know another two numbers. So let us do one more time. +4. You add another 4 and you have 4 over here. So that's your first number. Then the second one, +4 again, it would be 8. Right? So that's the most simple stuff you can do. So let me just write over here in red so you can see it. We have 4 and we have 8. Now, next we're going to look at counting back. Again, if I'm slightly too fast, just pause the video and let me know when you have any questions. Right, so let me give you a different number. Since we're going counting back, I'll give you 10, 5, 0, and then two unknown numbers. Right? So from what we can see, -8 is actually smaller than 8. So the number grows bigger and bigger and bigger. Now it's on the opposite side, positive number first, then goes down to negative. And so let us draw this number line over here. All right, and our first number over here would be 10. That was the case. But Now we have negative numbers, so we cannot start with a 10 just right over here. Positive numbers, you always start on the other side instead. So over here, let us start with 10. Sorry, not negative 10, but 10. And then goes on, we have 5. As you notice, you see 8, 4, 10, 5. So all the positive numbers are at the other side. Now we have 0. Now, since we're counting back, we have to draw the arrows to the other side. Again, let's do it. It is minusing 5. Right? You're subtracting 5, you're taking away 5 from it. So again, it is subtracting or minusing 5. Now we need to know the other two numbers. So let's do the same thing as how we did it from just now. It's negative minusing 5. Well, yeah, it's negative 5 for the first number. Then we have the next one, minus 5. Then we have my negative 10. Right? Now, there is a difference. Even I have this slight mistake of saying it sometimes, because one is we're trying to minus it. In this case, we're adding 4, we're subtracting 5. So over here, we don't say negative 5, negative 5. No, we say subtracting 5. But in your number line, the numbers right over here, it's negative 5 and negative 10. So there is a difference in this case. Okay? So together with this, you slowly see this kind of numbers, even bigger numbers when you go up, even higher in your education, right? So let us look at comparing right next one over here. So let us put over here comparison or comparing. Since I put a comparing, let us put that one instead. So with comparing, we need at least two numbers. If not, how are we going to compare, right? So let us see the number 8 and also negative 8. Now in this case, we need a symbol to put this in. Like for symbols, previously in the previous chapter, we have already known this one, and this one, right? So all of these are your comparing symbols that you can actually use. So remember, the sharp part over here is always for the smaller number, whereas the other side, imagine it's a mouth, it has teeth, it's a crocodile, and maybe it prefers bigger food rather than smaller ones, right? Bigger the better. So in this case, 8 and negative 8, 8 is actually bigger. So when 8 is actually bigger, we want this to be our symbol. Now let me give you another example. Whereas we have, let's say, a slightly bigger one, negative 521, and we have 520. So let me draw a box so that you can see what we should put in here. It's not a must to draw the box, but I'm putting it, just imagine that it's a question. So 520 is a positive number, whereas negative 521 is a negative number. So we know positive is actually bigger than negative. So we're going to do it the other side right now, like so. So even when the other one, this last one is basically when two numbers are the same, right? So let me just put a negative 14 and negative 14 over here. So they are the same thing, they're the same value. Unlike 8 and negative 8, they are not the same. One is smaller, one is bigger. Negative 4, negative 4, negative 14 and negative 14, they are the same thing. So that's why we're going to put this equal sign right over here, right? Now, one other thing, other than comparing and also counting on and back, we are also going to look at ordering. So let us look over here at ordering. So ordering, you have the smallest to biggest, or the smallest to largest, or even from the largest to smallest. So in this case, let me just give you a random set of numbers, and we're going to try to reorder, and rearrange it. So let us put over here, maybe I have negative 12, I have 3, negative 13, negative 13, we have 12, and maybe negative 3 over here. So right now, we're going to do two different stuff so that we can see the difference, right? So first thing first, let me draw a line in between so you can see the difference. Right? Sorry if the line is not that straight. As long as you can see and understand it, right? So it's not a must to draw this number line, but it's one of the things that you can actually do. So let us do this first one from this biggest to smallest. We can actually start with the positive numbers. So positive, the biggest number would be 12. Let's put here 12. The second positive number would be 3, right? So over here, what's the next smallest number? Not really the smallest, but what's the next smaller number? So the smaller number would be negative 3. And then we have negative 12 and negative 13. So from this set of number this is negative. Is it going from smallest to largest, or is it largest to smallest? Well, in this case, it is actually from smallest to largest, right? Next, we're going to use the same set of numbers and just change it from to the other way around. So let us put over here. Maybe we can arrange it from largest to smallest. You actually don't need a number line. Let us not put a number line instead. Let us just write it down. So over here, I'll put it in red. From largest to smallest, it's basically the other way around. You can actually put it in as 12, 3, negative 13, negative 12, and also negative 13. So this would be your largest to smallest, right? So let me give you the other one, whereas it was smallest to largest, also in this kind of written form, not in the number line form. You can actually write the other way around, which is negative 13. Remember to always put in your negative, because people tend to lose their marks because of that. That one small mistake can cost you your marks, right? So over here, as you can see, there is a difference, whereas it's getting from smallest to largest, right? So this is just that for ordering. It's pretty simple in a way. So there is actually one more thing, right? Is when you have addition and also subtraction for positive and negative numbers. So all these are the ones that you can focus on. And one more thing is that one slight little tip I want to just add for y'all to see, and also for y'all to know, is that when positive and negative numbers and people see let's say an addition to it, people tend to get confused. So let me just give you one example. Maybe I have the number 7. All right, then the number goes down, and they ask you to go down maybe 11 degrees, meaning it's getting colder and colder. So let me just put there, because we're getting colder and the number is getting smaller. But what is this number? I really don't know how to do it. That's what a lot of students actually tell me. So it's fine. I would actually give a tip for the weaker ones, or even for the ones that are very good but also gets careless mistakes and all. So you can actually try this. We're going to start with this negative 11. Even though it's minus 11, I'm going to change it to negative 11 instead. So in this case, let us put there negative 11. And because it's slightly hard for some people, like, is it a positive number now? Or is it not? How to minus? Because if you minus it, you get too small. You're actually not minusing it. Remember, here is a plus. It's a positive 7, right? Let me show you bit by bit. So when it's 11, I want a 10 from it. I want to change it to a negative 10. So I'm going to plus 1, right? If you can't really see it, let me change to a different color. Plus 1. Now, plus 1, I'm actually taking it from this 7 over here. So right now, I have 6 left. 6 positive numbers left. So right now, I'm going to just plus 6, right? 6 plus 1 is 7, if you don't know that already. So when we plus another 6 to it, what number would I get? I would actually get 4. So if you're really confused about it, just use your fingers by worst case scenario, or just imagine like 10 minus 6, I get 4. Right? So this positive and negative numbers you need a lot of practice to actually slowly get to find out about it and everything else. So feel free to just ask me if you have any questions at all. So this one normally is when there is negative numbers or even when addition comes in. So this is actually your answer right over here, negative 4. I want to show you, since I'm showing you how from positive number you get to negative number, and also from 7 negative 11 in a way, right? So let me just give you a different one, right? So a different number, maybe I can give you, let's say, from negative 4. I would want plus 5. What can I get? So let's see over here, our number line and our negative 4. So it's always easier when you start with negative numbers, but you can also start with positive numbers. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that I find it easier. So let us put there negative 4. So when we're going to positive numbers, you can actually draw one by one, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, but I like to make my time saved and I can have more time to do other questions. So let's say we plus 4 and then we get 0. Then we stop over there first. So we have 4 plus 1, we get 5, so that we can use up this 5 over here, right? So let us plus another 1 and we get 1 as our answer. Yay! So it's pretty simple, not that hard. This one would be negative 4, this one would be 1. Again, this chapter is on positive and negative numbers. If any questions, let me know, and don't forget to copy down the notes right over here. You can always pause the video or even look at your Google Classroom if you're from my class, positive and negative numbers 2.2. In your textbook page number 10, in this PDF itself, all the notes are already in here. So if you have any questions, you are lost, just ask me. Don't be afraid. All right, and thank you for watching.